Here's the question. It's an algebra calculation. We have to arrive at a specific number. Taka, gave half of his jelly beans to Kiara. Taka is not a name to sneeze at or cough at. There used to be a professional wrestler called Taka Michinoku. I just remember that because that name was so unique. He was Japanese. But anyway, Taka gave half of his jelly beans to Kiara. Kiara gave half of hers to Kostas. Kostas gave 1/4 of his to Adli. I can't tell if that's Adil or Adli. My eyes are not good. And kept the remaining 12. How many jelly beans did Taka originally have? Was it 32, 46, 68, 80? Please explain how the answer is obtained. Well, let's work with these numbers and see what we can get. If we call the number of jelly beans that Taka has T, Taka Michinoku, it could be him. And then Taka gave half of his to Kiara. So that would be T over 2. Half of T is T over 2. And then Kiara gave half of his to Kostas. T over 2 divided by 2 is T over 4. So now Kostas has T over 4. And Kostas gave 1/4 of his to Adil. I'm going to try this. This is a kind of it's Adil. When you put your fingers like that, you can make a makeshift magnifying glass. It works a little bit, magnifies it just a little bit. So I saw it's Adil. So Kostas gave 1/4 of his jelly beans to Adil. T over 4 divided by 4 is T over 16. Now it says that Kostas had 12 left over. So the T over 16 that Kostas gave to Adil plus 12, that's what would be left over, has to equal the jelly beans that Kostas originally had, T over 4. Started with T over 4. He gave T over 16 to Adil and had 12 left over. So T over 16 plus 12 equals T over 4. Now we can solve for T. Well, 12, I'm going to move the T over 16 to the other side, equals T over 4. We're subtracting it, minus T over 16. I guess you could do that on your calculator, or if you have to do it by hand, you need a common denominator, which will be 16. 4 goes into 16 4 times, so multiply the numerator by 4 as well. 4t over 16 minus t over 16 equals 3t over 16, and that has to equal 12. I'll just write it here so everything is right near each other. And then to solve for t, multiply both sides by 16 to get rid of it on the left. Divide both sides by 3 to get rid of it on the left. Now you can do some canceling. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 4 times 16 is 64. And guess what? There is no correct answer. 64 is not an answer choice. However, 64 is a correct answer. So if this is some kind of quiz you have to do online, email the teacher, email the instructor. Say there is no correct answer. Maybe pick 68 because it's the closest to these. You could also work with the numbers. Now, ideally, when you work with the numbers, you would find, wait a minute. When I open my eyes real big, the screen gets brighter. And when I close them, it gets dimmer. I have some kind of an eye power, like a Rinnegan from Naruto. I don't know how to pronounce it. Look that up. Naruto, a Rinnegan. It's an eye power. Anyway, I was just going to say that you can work with the answer choices and see which one works out. So if Taka Michinoku, an old professional wrestler many years ago, maybe this is him. He might like jelly beans. If Taka started out with 32, gave half to Kiara, that would be 16. Gave half to Kostas, which would be 8. Gave a quarter to Adil. A quarter of 8 is 2. Well, Kostas wouldn't then have 12 left over because 8 minus 2 is only 6. So this one doesn't work. It's not enough jelly beans. If Taka had 46 to start with, 23 went to Kiara. And I can't take half of 23 and have an even number of jelly beans. So that one's out. If you'd like to, we'll do it. 11 11.5. And then half of those would be what? 5.75, I guess. And see, it doesn't, or does it have to be, it has to be a quarter of those. Never mind, I said half. So it doesn't work out. It's not going to work out to even numbers. All right, 68. That means that 34 were given to Kiara, and then half of those would be 17 to Kostas. And then again, we can't do a quarter of 17. So that one doesn't work out. Gone. That's eliminated. All right, a quarter of 17 is 4 point something. Doesn't work out. And then 80, half would go to Kiara, which would be 40. Half would go to Kostas, would be 20. A quarter would go to Adil, which would be 5. Except 20 minus 5 is 15. Too many left over. So that one's out. So even with working with the number of jelly beans, even my mighty eye power can't make one of those. My Rinnigan can't make one of those a correct answer choice. 64 is a correct answer choice. You can find it algebraically. If you don't recall how I did that, be kind, rewind, and look at the beginning of the video again to see what it is. 64 is the answer. That is all.